So if we expand out an operator in terms of a single particle basis, then these coefficients here can't depend on which particle we're talking about because the particles are identical. And if the particles are identical, then not only do they have to have some symmetrized or anti-symmetrized initial state, but the operators can't distinguish between them either. If the operators can distinguish between them, then eventually they'll become distinguishable. So those coefficients have to be the same, which means that we can reorder this sum. Let's look at this operator here. All it does is it changes the state of particle P from K to J. So when we sum over all the possible particles, then all it's doing is it's changing one of the particles from state K to state J. So there's only one combination of creation and annihilation operators that can possibly do that, and that's this, where we delete a particle from state K and put it into state J. So these two operators must at least be proportional, and it turns out if we go through the full form and we look at all the coefficients, that they are in fact precisely equal, and therefore this first term is just given by that. And you know what we had back here is we had that is the single particle operator for particle P. And you can see what we have below is we have something that looks exactly the same thing, except instead of converting particle P from state K to state J, we're converting a particle from state K to state J, which makes complete sense, of course, because there's no sense in which indistinguishable particles have specific identities, and the occupation number notation has that built in. Now, what about these operators here? Now, they seem to be taking a pair of particles from states K and L and putting them into states I and J. And so you might be unsurprised to learn that that operator is precisely equal to, and therefore the full operator is given by that. And we see again that if we happen to know the operator for 2 particles, then to get the operator for n particles is actually quite easy. All you do is you replace all these kets with creation operators and all these bras with annihilation operators. And so we have a very direct translation from any operator we know in our old notation to operators in occupation number notation by replacing kets and bras with creation and annihilation operators appropriately.